7:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, assisted by Nilusha Jayamanna, and read by Geetanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The court directs the Attorney General to submit a report on the illegal projects at the Muthurajavala wetlands. Residents of Iranathu launch a protest against the decision to bury COVID-19 victims in their area. The IGP directed to arrest all police officers allegedly involved in the assault on final-year law student. Shani Abesekara and Hijaz Hizbullah further remanded. News from overseas, police say explosion at Dutch COVID-19 test centre appears intentional. In sports news, cricket, England thrashes New Zealand by 7 wickets to take a 1-0 series lead in the first 2020. Local news in detail. The Court of Appeal has directed the Attorney General to examine and submit a report on the alleged illegal construction and development projects at the Muthurajavala wetlands on the 9th of March. The petitions filed by Archbishop of Colombo, Cardinal Malcolm Ranjith, and the Centre for Environmental Justice seeking an injunction suspending the illegal construction and development activities in the Muthurajavala wetland zone were taken up today before Justice Arjuna Obesekara and Maya Dunne Korea. President's Counsel Shamil Pereira, appearing on behalf of the Cardinal, stated that illegal clearing and development activities are still continuing at the Muthurajavala Forest Reserve. Therefore, the President's Council requested the court to issue a restraining order to prevent such activities. Residents of Iranathu in Kilinochchi have launched a protest against the government's decision to bury COVID-19 victims in their residential area. Core Cabinet spokesperson Minister Keheli Rambukwella revealed yesterday that Iranathu Island was chosen as the burial ground of COVID-19 victims. Nearly 335 people belonging to 108 families whose livelihood depends mainly on fishing currently reside at Iranathu Island. Meanwhile, Fisheries Minister Douglas Devananda has said that the Iranathu Island is not a suitable place to bury the bodies of those who died due to the COVID virus. The minister also pointed out it will be an unnecessary inconvenience to the people in the area. Minister Devananda said he discussed the matter with the President and the Prime Minister. Attorney General Dappula de Oliveira has directed the IGP to arrest all police officers attached to Paliyagada Police who were allegedly involved in the assault on final-year law student Migara Gunaratna. AG's coordinating officer, State Counsel Nishara Jayaratna, said the AG also directed the IGP to produce the suspects in the court on charges under the Penal Code and the Torture Act. Several officers attached to the Paliyagada Police had allegedly assaulted Migara Gunaratna on the 25th of last month. 3 persons, including former director of the CID Shani Abesekara, under custody on the accusations of fabricating evidence and the charges, have been remanded until the 19th of this month. The order was given when the case was called today before Gampa Chief Magistrate Manjula Karunaratna. Meanwhile, Attorney-at-Law Hijaz Hizbullah and Principal of the controversial Madras School Mohammad Shakil have been further remanded until the 18th of this month. The case was taken up before the Fourth Magistrate Court today. In a separate case, the Colombo Fourth Magistrate Priyantha Liyanage ordered today to further remand 6 suspects, including Abdul Qadir Fatima Hadia, who is the wife of Saharan Hashim, until the 5th of May. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has instructed to provide an efficient public service through government institutions. While attending a meeting at Bathramulla Suhurupaya, the Prime Minister pointed out that it is essential to provide an efficient service to the public by solving internal problems at state institutions. State Minister Dr. Sudarshini Fernandopulle said the first consignment of COVID vaccine under the COVAX program of the World Health Organization will be delivered to Sri Lanka on Sunday. Accordingly, 264,000 doses are to be received, she said, speaking at a function held at the Chilau Hospital today. Sri Lanka has so far received 500,000 doses of Covishield AstraZeneca vaccine as a gift from India, and another 500,000 doses were acquired from India. Minister Johnston Fernando has instructed the Director General of Road Development Authority to provide him with a report on technical condition of its vehicles and machines. Instructions have been given after being informed that 100 vehicles and 40 machines, which can be repaired and used, have been impounded at its regional offices. The Minister has informed the Director General to bring those to the workshop of the authority at Angulana and repair the vehicles and machines. United National Party Chairman Vajira Abeyewardena says that Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe should enter Parliament to find solutions to the present problems in the country. He was speaking at a meeting in Galle. He said that it's a treachery against the party if Mr. Wickremesinghe did not go to Parliament. He also said that international assistance should be obtained from the investigations into the Easter Sunday attack. Police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said 4 students in connection with separate incidents related to the GCE ordinary level examination were arrested in Mullaitivu and Kagirawa. He said a 27-year-old person was arrested yesterday at the Seelawatta school in Mullaitivu police area for cheating by impersonation. He was to be produced before the Mullaitivu Magistrate Court today. A 16-year-old candidate had been assaulted by 3 other students Madatugama Examination Centre in the Kagirawa police area yesterday. The student who was injured by the assault had been admitted to the Dambulla hospital. The 3 students involved in the attack were arrested by Kagirawa police yesterday. DIG Rohana said the police will take stern action against the wrongdoers or the persons who are indulged in violent activities at the examination centres or in the vicinity of the centres. The renovated biochemistry analyzer facility at the District General Hospital Chilau was opened yesterday as part of an initiative supported by the United Nations Development Programme in Sri Lanka together with the Ministry of Health. The facility was ceremoniously opened by State Minister Dr. Sudarshini Fernandopule and Resident Representative UNDP in Sri Lanka Robert Jukam, with the participation of other dignitaries including religious leaders and government and health officials. This initiative is a part of UNDP's wider support on immediate COVID-19 response effort to Sri Lanka. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The 125th Rathana Sutra Chanting, organised by the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, takes place this evening from Badulla Valimada Sri Sudarshana Rama Temple. The Rathana Sutra Chanting will be held under the guidance of the Chief Monk of the temple, Venerable Dikkapitiya Udaya Thero. It will be broadcast at 6:30 p.m. over SLBC Sinhala Commercial Service, City FM and regional services. An air show in connection with the 70th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Air Force commenced today at the Golface Green in Colombo. It commenced with the attendance of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratne. The air show is being held under the patronage of Air Force Commander Air Marshal Sudarshana Patirana. That ends local news for now, and the main news story follows.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Minister of Health says 417 COVID-19 patients have been discharged from medical care as they have recovered from the illness. This brings the total number of novel coronavirus recoveries reported in the country to 80,437. Meanwhile, the total count of patients stands at 83,870. However, 2,950 of them are still under medical care. The country has registered 483 deaths from the pandemic. That was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Superivicky will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Superivicky and Kakulu, products from Siddhaleba.
In Watchlight this evening, 4 persons who destroyed plants at Anavilundava wetland have been remanded. They have been accused of uprooting 1,000 mangrove plants at the Ramsar wetland. The suspects have been remanded until the 9th of next month. They have been arrested on the 23rd of last month following a complaint made by wildlife officials. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. Police say explosion at Dutch COVID-19 test centre appears intentional. COVID vaccine is being tested in patients with low immunity. Qantas launches mystery flights to boost tourism. World news in detail now. Dutch police said a coronavirus testing centre north of Amsterdam appeared to have been intentionally targeted after an explosion went off at the facility before it opened today. Police said they had cordoned off the area to investigate. The incident comes shortly before national elections on the 17th of March, widely seen as a referendum on the government's handling of the pandemic. People in the UK with low immunity due to health conditions, including cancer, are being recruited to a study to urgently find out if coronavirus vaccine will still offer them high protection. Trials and real-life data show the shots work very well for most adults, including the very elderly. But there is little evidence on efficacy in immune-compromised patients. Qantas is launching mystery flights in an effort to boost domestic tourism across Australia, spark nostalgia. The day trips where passengers don't know the destination when boarding were popular in the 1990s. Airlines across the region are coming up with different strategies to tackle the pandemic-induced travel slump, with Thai Airways announcing this week it will slash its workforce by 50%. The downturn has led to government bailouts, collapses and huge job cuts. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines once again. Police say explosion at Dutch COVID-19 test centre appears intentional. COVID vaccine is being tested in patients with low immunity. Qantas launches mystery flights to boost tourism. That ends world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by
CIB offers valuable prize for New Year from 1st of 15th of March. Our choice in our own place. CIB.
In development news, Cabinet nod has been received to appoint an inter-institutional coordination committee comprising of industry players engaged in raw rubber manufacturing and rubber-based products as a joint endeavour to develop the sector while solving current issues in the sector. The Cabinet has approved a proposal presented by the Minister of Plantation, Dr. Ramesh Padrana, to appoint an inter-institutional coordination committee for the development of rubber cultivation and industries. That was development news.
Development News was brought to you by
CIB offers valuable prize for New Year from 1st of 15th of March. Our choice in our own place. CIB.
In sports news, a project has been launched to set up 15 rural playgrounds in the Jaffna district. Member of Parliament and Chairman of the Jaffna District Development Committee, Angajan Ramanathan, inaugurated the project yesterday. The inaugural event was held at the Star Sports Ground under the Jaffna Divisional Secretariat. The State Minister of Rural and Schools Sports Infrastructure Development is conducting the project. In cricket news, England thrashed New Zealand by 7 wickets to take a 1-0 series lead in the first 2020 in Wellington. The tourist bowlers took regular wickets to dismiss the White Ferns for just 96 with 2 balls to spare. England openers Tammy Beaumont and Danny White put on 59 in just 8.3 overs before both fell, while captain Heather Knight was run out for a duck. But Nat Seaver and Amy Jones easily guided their side to 99 for 3 with 4 overs to spare. Australia won by 64 runs the third T20 against New Zealand at Wellington today. Australia scored 208 for 4 wickets in 20 overs. New Zealand was able to score only 144 in 17.4 overs. Rugby news. Premiership Rugby is prepared to relax its rules to allow Scotland players to feature in a rearranged Six Nations match against France. The game in Paris was scheduled for last Sunday but was postponed after a COVID-19 outbreak in the France camp. The most likely date is now 26th of March outside the international window. That was sports news.
Contributory deposit of ₹1,000 from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Lakshapana Batteries is entering the renewable energy business. Having evaluated prospects in this space, the company has stated its intentions to invest over 1 billion rupees in generating renewable energy from rooftop solar projects. To fund the investment, the company proposes raising 540 million rupees by way of a rights issue and also intends to look into long-term debt to benefit from the prevailing low interest rate regime. That was business news.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of ₹1,000 from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The government borrowings from the central bank and the licensed commercial banks accelerated during January for the second month in a row after some slowdown seen in November last year as the state is making the most of the historically low interest rates. Data showed that state had borrowed a total of 209.9 billion rupees in January 2021, up from 185.3 billion rupees in December 2020. That was economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather report. The Met Department says mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. There's a slight possibility for occurrence of ground frost in Nuwara Eliya district during the early morning hours. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaragamuwa, Uwa and western provinces during the morning. That was the weather report, and before we end this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The court directs the Attorney General to submit a report on the illegal projects at the Muthurajavala wetlands. Residents of Iranathu launched a protest against the decision to bury COVID-19 victims in their area. The IGP directed to arrest all police officers allegedly involved in the assault on final-year law student. Shania Besekara and Hijaz Hizbullah further remanded. In foreign news, police say explosion at Dutch COVID-19 test centre appears intentional. In sports, cricket, England trashes New Zealand by 7 wickets to take 1-0 series lead in the first 2020. That ends this evening's news broadcast, and over to my friend and colleague Chandima.